IHS refunds, how do you get it when you file a new application? This is a common question I have been asked many times on various social channels, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere I've seen, even on emails, that when we file, for example, this is a very common question for skilled worker application. It applies to all applications rather, but mainly I'll take the reference of skilled worker applications. For example, let's say you file a new application now, you already have a valid leave, let's say for 3 years. Out of that you have used up 1 year of the leave, you still have 2 years of permission remaining as a skilled worker. Now you want to file another skilled worker application, either to change employer or for anything else. Whatever is the reason, you are making a new application. Let's say your job code changed or you changed employer. Changing employer is a very common thing. So in that case, how do you get the IHS refund back? How is it calculated, and do you get it or not? I will cover all of those. So firstly, let's assume the date of decision. So the date of application does not matter. People always tell me, once I filed this application on this particular date, that date is quite irrelevant. The only date that is relevant is when your application is decided. Let's say I filed the application some time back, and today the caseworker approves the decision, and today you get the approval email of the new application. Let's say you were already on a skilled worker visa, you have a valid leave, you filed an application, let's say a month before. So today is 4th of June. Let's say you filed an application on 1st of May, and today the caseworker is deciding and you're changing your employer. So since you already have a valid leave, and if the caseworker approves the application today, that is the date when the email comes to you that your skilled worker application has been approved. So if that email comes to you today, today is the date of approval, date of decision on your new application. So from this date forward, they will look forward. So the IHS refunds team will only refund if this is what happens. So from today, let's take today's example. Today is 4th of June. If your skilled worker permission, if your previous skilled worker permission was beyond 4th of June next year, so it was more than 12 months after today. So if that permission was more than 12 months valid after today, the date of decision, only then they would usually issue a refund. I've never seen refunds proportionately for 6 months, 3 months or anything like that. So let's say if your visa, if your previous permission was going to expire on 31st December 2024, this year itself, and we just have say 6 months now. So I don't think you will get a refund. So the refunds, every time I've seen refunds coming to our accounts or the client's accounts, are proportionately with a minimum a period of 1 year. So they will proportionate it to a 1 year period. So if at least 1 year is remaining, let's say your permission was expiring on today's 4th of June, let's say it was expiring on 5th of June next year. So then from tomorrow onwards, counting from tomorrow till next year's 5th of June, you have 12 months, 12 full months. Then you would be due a 1 year of IHS refund. For example, let's say your leave was expiring on 5th of June 2026, which is 2 years after today. So then you would be eligible for 2 years of refund. And anytime I've seen the refunds only come proportionately with they are not, so let's say you have 1.5 years of leave remaining from today forward. So usually I've always seen a full years of refunds given. Partial refunds of the partial year refunds are not given. For example, you paid 1,035 for the whole year. I don't think if you just have 6 months remaining, they would give you half of that. So minimum 1 year of leave should be remaining on your previous permission from the date of decision. So in my example, today is the date of decision, 4th of June. If you don't have your previous skilled worker permission or any permission that you had on the previous visa, it didn't last beyond 5th of June 2025, you will not get a NHS refund. The refund usually comes in about 28 days, worst case scenario 90 days, between 28 days to 90 days. It is automatically generated. I've always seen that. If you don't get it, usually up to 90 days or so, you may have to wait, or after 28 days, you can start following up with the IHS refunds team. If you Google search for IHS refunds or something, you should get that page. So that is about IHS refunds. Also, one important thing, since there was a increase in the IHS less than a year now, so about 6 months now, I think IHS has increased. Earlier it was 624 per year of visa, and now it is 1035 per year of visa. So let's say your new application is filed. In my same example, you filed the application on 1st of May when the new rate of IHS 1035 per year of visa was valid. You paid at that rate 1035. However, your previous skilled worker permission was approved when you paid at the rate of 624. So the previous skilled worker visa was granted on 624 per year rate. So you would get a refund at the rate of 624, that is the previous IHS, not the new IHS. You will have to pay at the rate of 1035 per year, and you would get a refund at the rate of 624 because that is what you paid for the previous visa. If for the previous visa also you paid at the same rate, let's say you filed the application in February for the previous one, and now in May you are again filing another one, you will get whatever rate you paid for the previous application, because the previous application's remaining permission is whatever is the remaining permission, that period of IHS is refunded to you. The new one you have to pay. So you will get at the lower rate if you paid the previous IHS at the rate of the previous rate 624 per year of visa. So that is about IHS refunds. The IHS refunds team is quite helpful. Usually by default it comes to the same card that you paid with, the IHS that you paid whenever you made that application. So I will clarify on that. So let's say you had a visa card at the time and you paid at the rate of 624 for your previous permission. Now when you file the new application, which is the current application for which you are getting a decision today, you will get a refund on that visa card that you used at the rate of 624 that you paid at that time. Okay, you won't get it. So let's say you use Amex card for this application, for the application that's being decided today. You won't get on this card. It will be on the previous card usually. So for that, if there is a change of card, someone else paid for IHS, etc., you may have to liaise with the team. Usually that is what I've seen. If let's say there is a card issue or something, someone else paid, maybe the refund will go to someone else, or the refund is going to go to some other card, or whatever is going to happen, it will not come to you. Then it is better, as soon as you get the approval, you can write to the IHS team and let them know about the situation. There is a refunds email. If you go to NHS refunds or something, you should find that email, and you let them know that you will have to always give them the IHS reference number. They only understand the IHS reference, nothing else. So your IHS reference is the very important piece of reference through which they will locate your previous application. That is, in my example, the visa card that you used to pay 624 per year of visa for that previous application, that they will only find through that IHS reference, not the new IHS reference. So you will have a new reference for the new application which I am deciding today. Let's say today is the caseworker is deciding on the new application, but the previous permission which you got maybe 1 year before, 2 years before, or whenever you got it, at that time, that's why every time you pay IHS, copy and paste the IHS reference number. You may need it in future for a refund or something like this. So I've had this case maybe with clients also, where I remember the client contacted the IHS team, and then the email on the IHS was ours. Then obviously they changed the email, they got the IHS reference for us, and then it was sorted. So yes, the email, the IHS reference, all these things are quite connected. So yeah, you may have to liaise with the IHS team if you are not getting a refund in the straightforward format. If you not used your email, you don't have the IHS reference or something, you may have to locate that back. So that is about IHS. Other things to consider: yeah, the refund does come, and yes, it will be given if you do. By default, I've seen all the refunds always come through whenever a new application is decided. And that is all about IHS refunds. I know there have been many questions on the channel, TikTok and YouTube, everywhere, wherever these videos you will see them. So Facebook and Instagram as well, about IHS refunds. And I see that many people are always confused about this IHS refunds concept. So to summarize, it will be only given proportionately. Minimum 1 year of leave should be remaining after the date of decision. The date of decision is important of the new application. Yeah, not the date of application, date of decision, when the caseworker approves the application. Because the logic is, you already paid the IHS till today, and you used up the IHS till today. For example, if the caseworker is deciding today, you may have gone and used NHS today. That's the logic behind that. I'm not saying you may have done that, but yes. So if the caseworker is approving the application today, till today you paid the IHS on the previous application and on the new one also. So the previous one is already used up. from tomorrow, so from the date of approval from today, the new IHS is what is you are using the credit for. So you're using the new IHS. That's why from tomorrow onwards, so if the approval is done today, so from this date forward, you cannot be charged two IHSs. So one is what you already paid, and the other one which you paid for the current application. So the previous one is refunded. That is the logic behind that, and only 1 years of minimum refunds are refunded. That's what I've seen from experience. Yeah, I couldn't find it. I've tried to find the reference anywhere, but this is what the logically I've always seen. The refunds usually come for 1 year. If you have a different experience, if you got a 3-month refund, definitely let us know in comments, and yeah, it will help enlighten others as well. Or 6 months of refund if you got it on IHS, but then to the best of my knowledge, only 1 year of minimum refunds are given. So your permission should have been at least for 1 year after today. So today is 4th of June, so maybe at least till 4th of June. Yeah, 4th of June, if you have to be exact, next year you should have a leave. So from 3rd June, from 5th of June, that is tomorrow, till 4th of June 2025, that is a minimum period of permission you should have had on your previous leave. If it is expiring anytime before 4th of June 2025, you would not get a refund for a decision that is made today, 4th of June 2024. So yeah, that's all about NHS refunds. If you do like this video, do like it. If you dislike it, make sure you dislike it by giving 2 dislikes. So I make sure that I don't make such videos in future. If it helps you, do like it definitely, and share with others, and subscribe to our channel. Prefer to become a paid member on YouTube and support our channel, or on TikTok there is a subscription option. Whichever channel you are on, do subscribe, support our channel, and thank you very much for all your support.